Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's not only a real estate mogul, a computer programmer, he's also a breakfast cereal aficionado. And why is that? He began his first company, which is Magnus Magnon Opus Productions, to sell animated projects. And of course, he's the founder of a wonderful company called Panda Mony Toy Brands. And what is that? We're going to find out in just 1 minute. He founded in 2017 as a trailblazer in children's entertainment, specializing in all kinds of things: creation, manufacturing, toys, licensing business of its universe in film, TV, books, and more. And of course, speaking of universes, he'll be talking about Tankdrome going into the future. And of course, he has a love for children. He'll talk about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, for Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Franklin, Tennessee, the amazing real estate mogul, computer programmer, breakfast cereal aficionado, or as I call it, fanatic. I'm sure he's having it right now, encouraging fans of Tankdrome to do the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Panda Mony Toy Brands, a multi-talented Ryan Magnon. Ryan, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Well, it's great to have you on board as well, too. It's your real estate mogul, computer programmer, breakfast cereal aficionado. And before we get into all that, what's your favorite breakfast cereal?
Oh gosh, there's so many. It's hard to decide. Put me on the spot. I guess in a pinch, I'd have to say Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's good all the time, no matter what you're in the mood for.
Well, you know something, too? You can join my wife, that one. She loves Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I'm more of a Frosted Flakes person, and I wish I'd have some right now, but unfortunately, Tony's on assignment at this time, so we'll have to check with him. That will snap, crackle, and pop. And not only that, you began first company, Magnon Opus Productions, to sell animated projects. You're the founder of Panda Mony Toy Brands in 2017 as a trailblazer in children's entertainment. And of course, you also respect children's intelligence and basically just very gratuitous eschewing the indoctrinations and encouraging youthful self-discovery. And you have a new product called Tankdrome, which goes 100 years into the future. Why is that? Well, before getting all that, Ryan, tell us how you first got started.
I've been doing character design my whole life, and I did go to school for computer programming, but art was always calling me. I always had these ideas for characters and stories, and I just went for it. And yeah, I started that company, Magnon Opus. Yeah, I forgot all about that. That was that was quite a ways back, and did my own animated shorts and produced some films, things like that. But I wanted to get into more kids brands and things like that. Just, I don't know, that's just kind of where all that love started, was with my childhood. And I thought that there was a dearth in the action figure aisle in particular, because it was a lot of, you'd see He-Man all the time. I'm sorry, not He-Man, Superman all the time, Batman, those characters. And actually, they brought He-Man back now too. But
Yes,
there
I
was
remember He-Man very well. I grew up in watching Superman, Batman. I think it was I kind of hate to say it's like the 60s and 70s. The Batman I remember was Adam West and Burt Ward, the more cartoony one. And of course, the Superman, the other cartoons, and everything just went from there. So
yeah, see, and they haven't really made much news since then. It doesn't seem like. I mean, it's been like 20 years since the last thing I'd seen on the action figure aisle that was a new brand, or the newest brand, was Power Rangers, which had already been out for 20 years or so. So I thought kids needed something of their for today's generation. They needed something of their own, and that's kind of what we've been doing since.
that's rather interesting. Was it one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
What was the one moment that influenced me?
It was like light bulb, like that.
It was more of a, okay, it was narrowing it down. It's like I could do comics, I could do animation, I could do toys, but animation and comics, there are already a lot of great independent development a lot of great independent development happening there. So I thought that there was something lacking in toys. That was kind of what I guess the aha moment was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And,
And I
and,
was
and
in Toys R Us, I think, when it happened.
I remember Toys R Us. Yeah, it's like, be a Toys R Us kid. The what was it? Oh gosh, what was it named? Jerry the Giraffe or
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey? That was it. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, it's been such a long time. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to dig the cobwebs out of my childhood, as you could tell too. So,
it's all right.
and of course, you talked about having childhood memories and all that. What was your first childhood memory? That got you really into toys and animation and everything like that.
When I was in school, I was kind of I wouldn't say loner, but just I really liked to do projects that without other people's input, and I was into drawing a lot, and to the point where other kids in the class were like asking me to critique their drawings and things like that. So I guess that was kind of where it started, was that I recognized that I had something I like doing, and maybe I was good at it, you know?
Hmm. And it seems like it as well too. And who are some of your favorite cartoon characters and also cartoons and TV shows growing up?
The thing that the a lot of what I'm doing now, I, I'm molding a lot of what I grew up with in there. And so with Tankdrome, a lot of it was inspired by this show called Mask, which was it came out around the same time as G.I. Joe or American Hero, Real American Hero. It was these vehicles that would transform into other vehicles, usually something kind of militaristic.
Makes you think of Transformers.
Yeah. So it was sort of that in between Transformers and GI Joe. It was both universe. I think it might have been the same company at the time. I can't remember. They all kind of got bought up over the years.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I lost track after a while. It's like, who did Disney buy up? Where did Marvel go to?
Yeah.
DC and
So
everything. It's like these I have their own distinction. Now all of a sudden they get bought by somebody. It's like, who really runs the show?
yeah, it was Kenner at the time, and I think Hasbro bought him, if I remember
I
correctly.
remember Kenner, that's right. And the
Yeah.
thing I remember from Kenner was what was it? Those I'm trying to think here. It's like those race cars where it's like you put a stick in, like the wheel goes like that,
Oh yeah, those were
yes, I
cool.
remember those. That's the one Kenner toy I thought of.
Yeah, I can't. I totally remember those. I have no idea what the name is, but yeah,
Hmm. I think was it Rip and Reel or something like that.
yeah,
But I remember that I carried around was my favorite. You had that stick at that wheel like that. You go and see how far it would take you, or you try to hit somebody, or try to scare off a dog, cat, bird, whatever it is, and see if it flies off the porch or something. I remember that one.
yeah. Hope you didn't break it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I think there was also Mattel, and I think there was also you mentioned Hasbro, and oh my gosh, it's been a while.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember some of those, if Hasbro made them or if it was Kenner and now they just own them because they bought Kenner. So
Hmm. Right.
yeah, how
Hmm.
it goes, I guess.
And of course you got your own as well too, and of course you got your own toy brand and everything else, and the philosophy behind it. We'll talk about that with Panda, Mony, toy brands founder Ryan Magnon, along with Tankdrome in just 1 minute. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor, The Mike Wagner Show, international war ring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. and evil and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forge Riley, and Minions. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by me and Melson Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com or 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and more. And subscribe to us on BitChute and Rumble. Make sure you take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/me and Melson Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Great gifts for the holidays, birthdays, any occasion. Amazon.com/me and Melson Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the amazing multi-talented real estate mogul, computer programmer, breakfast cereal aficionado, and the founder of Panda, Mony toy brands, part of the Tankdrome series, Ryan Magnon, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we talk about Tankdrome as well, too, you do a little thing too, which is the genesis of it, Alternation, and tell us more about that.
Yeah, Alternation was our first action figure brand, and it came out in end of 2019. 2020 happened, and that kind of set things back, but we're still going and still have them available. I got Quilroy right here. The thing about Alternation was it was a secret experiment. This is the story. The secret experiment with the military creating human animal hybrids that were soldiers, only they don't know that they're hybrids. They think they were just born freaks of nature. So it was kind of a X-Files for kids. The toys themselves, each one had their own different animal power. So this guy's part porcupine. He's an elephant.
Okay, can you bring it up close for our viewers?
Yeah.
Here?
So this is Quilroy.
Ooh, pretty scary here. I hope we don't traumatize any kids here. So
yeah, and then he would.
Oh my gosh, he shoots quills.
He shoots quills. We got a chameleon. He actually changes color in warm water, and he's got this funny tongue picture. His name's Sham.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Again, bring it up close. I like to see that. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to buy that for my kids. I need to remind myself to do so.
Well, that's great, because I'm sure we have some specials going before the holidays and everything. So
and show some other characters and their features, functions, and what else they do. I mean, this is really cool.
This is one of the villains. This is Sabotage. There we go. I got to do everything backwards on camera, I guess. And he lights up. Got this sound effect. One of the more super deluxe characters. So he's got a few different features. We also did fun stuff with the accessories. So we had a character who's a spy. He's got a switchblade hidden in the umbrella there.
Oh wow! Okay,
stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. We had fun making it. We poured our hearts into it. Just for that. Just wanted to give people the most we could for their buck, and we were a small company, so we wanted to really make a big splash. We ended up getting nominated for the Toy Action Figure of the Year, I should say, Toy of the Year awards, and that was special to us. That's the industry's highest award. So.
That is very nice as well too, and maybe we can talk about some of the other characters that you feature as well too before we get the Tankdrome. It's like some of the other toys and what do you base your characters on too? It's like you have the lizard guy, and you also have the one that shoots quills. Maybe just a backstory on some of those guys. You talk about humans combining with animals and everything like that.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about it. So each one was a different. They're all ranked in the military. So Quilroy was second in command, and he's kind of the brute weightlifter of the group. He's the tough guy, kind of the big brother character. We've got Sham here. He's a secret agent. We don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy yet. He's sort of working for the agency, and we don't know if he's with the hybrids or kind of just spying on them. This is a character I didn't get to show you. It might be tricky to show how his feature works, but this is Dart. He's the cadet of the group. He does a backflip.
Oh my goodness, that's so cool.
And yet he still has all the articulation that you'd expect. You know, so you can still pose him even though he does that cool backflip.
Mm-hmm. That is rather interesting, and I think you want to, show more of it and everything else. And is there any other characters you like to show off as well?
True, yeah. The last one I'll show today is this is El Rey. He's the leader of the group, and he's fully articulated, and he also has this cool little. He's an electric eel, so he lights up. It's got the fishtail. It's made of stretchy rubber. You can whack the other characters with it if you like.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go. I like that. I like that. And tell us more about the story of
the story.
alienation and how that came about, and or is it alternation? That's what it is.
Alternation. Yeah, yeah.
Alternation, yeah. So tell us more about how did that first come about?
Yeah, we pitched a lot of different ideas to kids around age 8 or 9, and since they're the primary audience of action figures, and that this was the one they liked the best. They liked the idea that a human combined with an animal, you get the best of both worlds. So the intelligence of a human and you know these different powers we could that you might possibly have. So we ended up incorporating that into the story with all of their powers are based on real animals' powers. And then the other thing was just kind of we kicked around the idea of, well, this is a they like the idea of it being a secret experiment, so we kind of made it this X-Files for kids and kind of the island of Dr. Moreau and all that. Because the story takes place on a secret naval base out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and these characters they go on missions, these sort of paranormal missions, so they're fighting, you know, shadow creatures or mind control, you know, uh, zombies and things like that. But they're also uncovering this secret about themselves, that they're not being told the truth. So it has a lot of potential. We're pitching it around to different for film and television and things like that. It's been a comic. Dark Horse Comics picked it up for a graphic novel. So modest success, and we're still going.
And certainly does as well too. And before we get to more talking about Tankdrome as well too, that you've had Panda Mony toy brands for quite some time, and what's unique about it is that you basically not just a trailblazer in children's entertainment, specializing in creation, manufacturing toys, licensing, business, and all that. You respect children's intelligence, eschews gratuitous indoctrination, and encouraging youthful self discovery. And tell us more about that and what led you to that philosophy.
Yeah, I had always sort of resented it as a kid. I guess maybe I was more aware of it than other kids my age. That I didn't really like being this sort of subversive like indoctrination in some of the content I would view as a kid. So political points of view that whether I agreed with them or not, I didn't really think it was appropriate to be in kids shows. So I kind of wanted to avoid that with the company I made, and just really just the stories we have are sort of the fundamental things kids need in life, not they don't really. I don't think they need to be involved in specifics with red versus blue, and so that was sort of where I went with it, and then I guess I also saw that there was other companies that were doing things that were sort of underhanded. Um, and some of there's been books written about some of the things other toy companies have done as far as their competitive attitude and compromising mm, children's privacy and things like that in order to get market research and just weird stuff like that. It just doesn't seem very appropriate. Certainly not good for the the culture and things like that.
You mentioned something earlier as well too, and I was really curious about that. Teaches kids certain things when it comes to alternation and some of the projects you've done as well. What are some of the things that kids need to learn, and what are some of the values that are being taught when it comes to that?
Yeah. So some of the stories we did in alternation, one was about how it was really a story about skepticism, that these characters were in this world of all this extraordinary stuff, and it was the whole moral of the story was not to jump to conclusions, and especially in today's age when we are bombarded with, so many different points of view, that it's important to just take that step back and really analyze what is the most probable outcome, or things like that. Not to just believe things because they're fascinating, but whether or not they're true. So that was one of the our first short stories. That was the theme of it.
What are some other themes that you would touch on?
Some of the other themes. We had one, let me think. This was a good one. One of the villains was trying to take over the world and digitize everybody's personality. So we
I
would all
love the
live in a
idea. Take over
computer.
the world, Pinky and a brain. What do you want to do tonight, brain? Same thing we do tonight, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Yeah, yeah. In our story, the character had an interesting twist on that, and it was to put she was of the belief that the next step in evolution was for us to be in digital form, not to even have bodies, but to just be exist on computer software. And the allegory there was to teach the importance of actually living life, and that a virtual life isn't a life at all. It's sort of a waste of life.
Hmm. That's kind of similar to AI in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, and I think kind of some of the shows like Black Mirror and things have touched on that, but again, not really an appropriate show for kids. So this is something we can do to bring that same sort of those ideas to kids.
Mhm. And what are some of the themes that you've also touched on, or what other themes do you plan to touch on?
Well, one of our more recent stories is balancing the need for progressive ideas versus traditional ideas. So both have their place and time, and it's important to not lean too far into tradition, because then you never invent anything new. But that progressive ideas are not tried and true, so they have to be taken with caution.
And certainly you did as well too. And of course, a good portion is anime, but it's also that you have a really unique spin on that one.
What was that?
Yeah,
Uh,
talking about you have like anime as part of Tankdrome as well too. You put a neat
Oh, right,
spin
yeah.
on it. Yes.
Yeah, so Tankdrome's going to be continuing at that same sort of our first issue is it's a story about the main characters are really learning how to balance fame and with responsibility. And it sort of just questions the reason why would a person even want fame if you're going to compromise yourself to get it? Like, it's not why would you want influence? And we always hear these stories about kids wanting to be influencers and things like that. So um, the way, in my experience, it's been such that there's a lot of people, when you reach a certain level of influence, there's expectations that you'll change who you are in order to gain more followers or whatever, gain more of an audience, essentially. And so that's sort of the idea is, well, what's the point of doing that if you're not you? You're not you anymore. You're just you're towing the line, basically.
And do you think there's more pressure on influencers to, be more of an influencer trying to get more? Is there more pressure on them, or is it just part of a job?
It's interesting. I'm not the influencer thing is something I can't speak to too much intelligence with too much intelligence about, but I imagine it's similar to some of the stuff I faced in trying to build a career in Hollywood and things like that, to where you have your artistic vision, and there's people that want to change it to fit either the market or an agenda or whatever it is, and then to the point where you're not sure why they even need you. It's like, why
Mhm.
not? Why don't you just build this yourself?
Right, right, exactly. And of course, speaking of Hollywood and having a career and everything. You did some other work too before you doing Tankdrome and alternation. You also did alcoholism and atrophy. I hope I got that right.
Oh,
Or Orang You and Eight Goes to College. I like that one. And directing Dave director's cut, and also A Year Without God. And tell us more about those.
yeah, all those were indie projects that, people at the time, they were things I sort of thought were worth exploring. And the Orang You, I'll tell you about that. That was a Creative Commons movie, and so I'm a big supporter of Creative Commons work, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it's copyright free work. That so as long as you say you can't, as long as you don't, how do I explain it? As long as you allow other people to derive the work that you've done, derive from the work you've done, you're free to use it. So if I make a piece of art and you edit it and do whatever you want with it, we can you're free to use it as long as you let other people use it. There we go. That's the way to say it.
I think I understand the concept of copyright free, and I think some people also call it royalty free as well too. So
Yeah, it's similar to royalty free. It's slightly different just in the fact that you can copyright it, but anyway, it's trivial stuff. I shouldn't even get into that. But yeah, so this was a whole movie somebody wanted to make that was Creative Commons. So if you took their movie, you could go re-edit it, and they couldn't say anything about it.
And of course, you can have your characters do the same as well too with alternation. And of course, let's go 100 years in the future with Tankdrome. Before we do that with Ryan Magnon, you listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's Missing. We'll be back with the founder of Panda, Mony toy brands, Ryan Magnon, after this time. We're back with Panda, Mony toy brands founder and the creator of Tankdrome, Ryan Magnon, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Let's jump into Tankdrome. These guys go 100 years in the future, and after a great war, nations of the world band armies together, territories solved, and one-on-one tank battles. And tell us more about that. And tell us more about how did Tankdrome actually first got started.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull, if it's okay, I'll share some pictures with you.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I love pictures.
Well, that picture's whatever, 1,000 words and so forth. Sorry, I'm a little distracted here trying to
I think you need some cinnamon toast crunch to get you back into focus, Ryan.
probably
Come
it's
on,
the end
focus,
of the
focus,
yeah.
focus. I wish I could give you cinnamon toast, but my wife is eating it right now. She's like, "Sorry, you can't have it." Okay, honey.
Yeah, let me the host has disabled screen sharing. I'm sorry, I can't share it with you.
That's okay. We can do it another time.
Yeah,
But
that's fine. I'll send you the pictures. You can plug them in the post. But yeah, the story of Tankdrome is, yes, it is 100 years in the future. Instead of wars, the nations of the world got together and said, let's just do one-on-one tank battles, because that just seemed the most likely thing that would actually happen, right?
mhm.
But it's a lot more of a lighthearted, funny action series when compared to Tankdrome. I wanted to do something completely different tone, and in the story, it really took a lot of inspiration from Street Fighter and things like that, where the characters are from different parts of the world, and you can see that reflected in not just their character design, but also in the design of the vehicle. So being from Tennessee now, we have a character that sort of looks like a cross between Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis. He's driving a '57 Chevy tank. He's got yeah,
I can imagine that one.
yeah. We got a character that drives a lowrider tank. He's sort of the hip hop artist. We've got a gangster from the kind of 1920s Chicago gangster who's
Like
driving
Al Capone, right?
yeah, absolutely. I based him on George Raff, if you know who that is. He's sort of, yeah, so he's a sort of Scarface character, and he's got a Rolls Royce sort of tank, things like that. It's really wacky. We even had a character with it was like a giant baby like a 9 foot tall baby that has a tank, and it's like a baby walker crossed with a tank. So
Oh, I think you know, it reminds me of what was it? Ghostbuster having that
yeah,
big baby walk through it.
like the Marshmallow Man, right?
Marshmallow Man, that's right. And of course, you know, Bill Murray hits it like, you know, how'd you do? I've been slimed.
Yeah, yeah.
Or that goblin or whatever it is. So so yeah, I probably need some cinnamon toast crunch. You know, I forgot to ask this question as well since you're into cartoons. Who are some of your favorite you know animators
Animators. Well,
or
I really,
cartoonists, I should say.
yeah, I got into Bruce Timm, and he did all the Batman series in the 90s.
Hmm.
So I think that was probably the most influential on me. But I also got a chance to be taught by a lot of animators. So I was taught by Steven Silver, who worked on Kim Possible, Charles Zimbillis, who worked on He-Man, um, uh, Jim Smith worked on Ren and Stimpy. So I got a lot of great. I'm really lucky that at the time I was in California, that I got to study under those guys.
And of course, your thoughts on Stan Lee as well too.
Stan Lee. Yeah, I mean,
Spider Man.
I loved Spider-Man growing up. So that was my thing. I mean, he was like a power, he was a powerhouse of ideas, and I feel like I, I'm just like him, except far less successful. I can come up with ideas too, but I don't have the outlet he did.
Hmm. Well, maybe the people from Tankdrome can also help as well too. You know, besides having you know, one-on-one tank battles. Of course, you have you know, Elvis and his 57 Chevy, and of course you had the Rolls Royce and low riders and everything like that. And what are some of the other you know, tanks are featured?
Some of the other things we had, those were, oh, well, we have a character, we have some of the story takes place in Japan. So there's a trend in Japan called Bosozuko. I always get it wrong. Anyway, it's a style of bikes that people modify, and they're really outrageous looking motorcycles. So we had a tank based on that, and the driver's a female character. And her name is Fujiyama Mama, named after a 50s rockabilly song. What else? We there's a character out of Louisville. I was gonna originally call her the Louisville Slugger, but I don't think I'm going to, because I may want to make a toy, and they probably own the trademark
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
won't
yeah. They do
use.
have a.
Yeah,
I was gonna say they do have a trademark, or I could say Louisville Slam
yeah.
or Louis Slug or something like that. Louis Slug or something.
We ended up changing it. Well, the tank is. Have you seen in a baseball game that they'll bring a pitcher out on a bullpen car?
I've seen those, yes,
Yeah,
and just about all the parks. You know, I've been to Wrigley Field, Comiskey Park, Dodger Stadium, County Stadium, and people, you know, they've you know, took pictures, sent it, you know, like from Busch Stadium, Kauffman Stadium, and even like, you know, say with the Nashville Cats or Tennessee Smokies, they bring them out.
yeah, yeah. So we made a tank out of a bullpen cart. And she shoots Gatorade as a weapon, kind of Gatorade
Oh,
slush.
I thought they'd be shooting baseballs. Makes me think
She
of
does that too. She's got a pitching machine, like you know what I'm talking, like at a batting cage. Yeah,
Oh yeah, you know those
yeah,
automatic ones. I know what you're
yeah,
talking about. Yeah, and
yeah,
of course that thing that shoots up makes me think of Speed Racer back in the day. You hit A, you jump. Hit B, you shoots knives. C, machine guns. D,
yeah.
submerge. Or E is just like, you know, whatever, you know. So
Yeah, I haven't seen Speed Racer in so long, and now that you said that, I'm gonna go see if I can find it on. Yeah, yeah, I haven't seen Speed Racer in decades. Wow.
mhm. Well, I'm hoping he gives some good ideas here, and of course, you know, of course, Tank Drone's still in the process. What do you want people to get out of Tank Drone?
I hope they enjoy it, and tell their friends, and go follow us on, follow your favorite anime news. We were in Anime News Network. This will be produced by Studio Engi. So please keep an eye out for it, and follow us on we're Pandemony Toys on all the social media, but the better way to follow us is on our own website, pandemony.toys, not .com. It's a .toys because we don't sell comms, we sell toys.
Pandemony.toys. I
Right.
like that idea. You really came up with something great. So we're here with Ryan Magnon of Tankdrome from Pandemony Toy Brands here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few more things. What can we expect from you in 2023 or going into 2024 and beyond, Ryan?
Yeah, we're hoping to expand more into licenses. So I'd like to get a Tankdrome video game out. We're in talks with an animation studios about that, and as for an animated series. And we have a few other ideas in the works. Toys, as far as toys go, innovative products.
Certainly did. And we're looking forward to that, Ryan. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence?
Yes.
I'm gonna go big and say Walt Disney. And actually, I'm gonna put Frank Capra in there too. Recently, I've been just on a Frank Capra movie
Oh,
kick.
wow. Well,
Yeah,
like It's a Wonderful Life and
all
all
of
that.
them. Yeah, Wonderful Life is great. It's another one I really like. There was Meet John Doe, but it's just I feel like that's sort of something missing. That there was this sort of idealism that he captured really well, and it hasn't been seen in a long time, with most of
Well,
what's been out there.
maybe he'll be part of Tank Drum. Who knows? Maybe a
Sure.
Christmas edition. Hey,
Yeah.
it's a Wonderful Life, you know.
Yeah. Maybe I'll figure some way out to incorporate that. Yeah. That man was
There
fun.
you go. Have a Jimmy Stewart mobile. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna beat these bad guys, you know.
What do you say there?
Yeah, I'm gonna right get you, buddy. The episode continues. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Oh, I'm the best advice I can give is don't listen to me because I made a lot of actually listen. Don't do what I did wrong and just do the stuff I did right. Actually, if they really want advice, they can email me. I'm really good about emailing anybody who wants to talk to me. So Ryan Magnon at pandemony.toys. I really like to help people with that are struggling because I had a hard time getting started with toys. So I'm always happy to help other people that are confused about the entertainment business or anything like that.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly do that as well to have people contact you. We're here with Pandemony Toy Brands founder and the producer of Tank Drome, Ryan Magnon, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Ryan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people purchase? Check out the toys and check out all your goods.
Yeah, our website is Panda, Panda, Mony, Mony, .toys. And our toys are on all of the major online platforms, Walmart.com, Amazon.com, Target.com, eBay, wherever, probably in a flea market somewhere too.
Well, just don't let those buggers get them as well, too, or terrorize. So,
Yeah.
all right, Ryan, that's been great. And looking forward to Tank Drum as well. Looking forward to having soon, Ryan. You've been absolutely fantastic. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Wish you all best. And Ryan, you definitely have a great future ahead.
All right. Thank you, Mike.